Welcome to the mat for when maybe you don't want to be on the mat or you don't know what to do on the mat. I want to just invite you today into just this little practice, this little somatic sensing practice, so that what we're doing is truly yoga, even if you don't know how to do yoga. Really, yoga means unity with the self on all layers of being. And sometimes when we don't know what's best for us, or when we're feeling depressed or heavy or stressed or whatever, we just come to the mat and or come to the floor randomly and just and don't want to move. Or there's a freeze response. There's this from something going on in the life, trauma arising, whatever it might be. There's lots of reasons in this life why we might just kind of feel stuck and uninspired. So I hope to help you find your own inspiration today. So first, let's oh 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 I was gonna start you laying down. Yeah, let's do that. We'll start from a few different orientations, I think, or at least two. So let's try it this way. Number one thing about this kind of practice is listening, is intuition. So I have not decided what we're doing already. I'm listening to the moment and what is needed here. So first I want to invite you to lay down on your mat. And don't be still. Don't be still. Notice. Maybe there's a little fidgeting. Maybe there's a little movement that wants to happen. Like, are my shoulders even? How's my sacrum feel on the earth? How's the head feel? What's happening in the body? Are there wiggles? Are there uncomfortable places? And just listen in. Listen in. How's your body? And then once the fidgeting or wiggles kind of quell, take pause. Notice your breath. Notice the movement of breath and how the breath moves your body. Notice your face, jaw, tongue. And maybe just begin the tiniest little rock of your head, side to side. So just those upper vertebrae are ever so gently moving. Maybe the tiniest little nod of your head. Sense into what else moves. I can feel the rock at the vertebrae. I can sense the muscles way down the spine, like into my middle back moving. Even with just this movement of my chin that's only about an inch or maybe an inch and a half. And then pause. Notice that movement of energy, maybe warmth or release. Notice your jaw. Wiggle your jaw. Tiny, tiny wiggles of the jaw. Micro movements. And at any point, if a bigger movement is inspired, follow it. Otherwise, we're just going to start with micro movements right now. Notice your fingers. 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice your fingers. My fingers are starting to wiggle, and I notice my booty wants to move with my fingers. So I'm releasing my glutes now. Wiggling fingers, wiggling glutes, which made me giggle. Which feels good. Which now my feet want to get involved. They're kind of jealous. They're like, hey, me too. And my feet want to wiggle. If you're not so inspired to move yet, you could just start again with those tiny movements. Wiggle your toes. Maybe windshield wiper your feet, your ankles, or like a little kid, how little kids just can't stay still and they're wiggling. That's the beauty of this practice. That's really what we're doing here. We're reclaiming freedom of movement. All those times you were fidgeting as a child that someone told you, stay still, stay still. No, I will not stay still. And so we begin to move. We begin to move. Maybe they're just tiny movements still. Maybe your hands and your feet are dancing. Maybe they begin to swing. Maybe your hips begin to want to wiggle a little more. My knees want to be bent to let my hips wiggle more. And there's just a side to side movement there. And I begin to feel that as I'm moving side to side, I can feel the psoas, the big muscle in the front of my hip stretching. And wow, that feels kind of good. Maybe I just want to pause. See what's there. And my body knows, I have body wisdom, how to get deeper into that movement. Stretch the arms up overhead. So now I have my arms up overhead and those fingers want to move again. And or a little like thrust coming in the pelvis here as I'm rolled over to one side. I don't know if I ever make this movement. This is organic movement right here in this movement. This isn't a yoga pose. It's kind of almost a yoga pose. It's the body feeling what movement would feel good for it right now. And then the other side starts getting jealous and I want to roll on over the other side and back and forth and back and forth and find that other side and stretch and wiggle. Again, that little kind of thrusty on the second side. And of course, we are asymmetrical beings. Each side may feel different. Each side may want something different. There may be a point where we notice, like, oh, I'm doing a thing I do all the time. Good, stop, pause. That was the brain taking over. Listen. What's wanted now? I want to roll over now. How about you? What's your body want now? I want to roll over now and I want to reach my arms out in front and just kind of sway. Sway, what's there? What's there? And then I know from there that there's a tabletop, there's a cat cow. There's a thing I do know that I actually want to do. But I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to slow it down so much. And then see what's there. A little different than usual. That feels good. What feels good? What does your body say yes to? Usually movement will beget movement. I find myself wanting to come to the forearms and pause and relax. So again, take pauses to listen for organic impulses. A little wiggle, a little shake out. Maybe find yourself moving into a pose that you know, seen. Maybe you find yourself moving into a way that you usually dance. Great, go for it. And then pause. Maybe even freeze somewhere in the middle of here and there and listen. What's wanted? What else is possible here? I'm doing things I never do right at this moment. But I'm listening. None of them are out of integrity or out of alignment because I'm moving slowly and listening to where the body actually wants to go. I find myself wanting to come into a down dog. But I don't want to stay still in that down dog right away. Again, I want to wiggle. I want to fidget. I want to feel where my feet want to be, where my hands want to be. How does my spine feel? How does the neck feel? Maybe I get that wave all of a sudden again that it's like, oh, I don't really feel like doing this. And I rest in child's pose. And as I come to child's pose, I sense that I just want to rock here. I want to rock myself in child's pose, rock my head on the floor. Breathe and feel the stretch here. which makes me inspired to other things here. Reaching across, rolling into a twisted child's pose, but the way it's taught, just the way it feels right now. Rolling to one side, looking, opening, maybe reaching up, maybe lifting up. There's the familiar pose. That feels. So there's lots of prescribed shapes in yoga because they've been practiced. Alignment has been found, opening, healing, clear lines of energy have been found. So there's so much benefit in all of them. And sometimes we don't want to go into regimented movement or things we're supposed to do. There's resistance in the body mind to that. The resistance to things, especially often when we're dealing with intense emotions or stress or being told what to do all the time. Just come to your mat and play. Be a child. Put your butt in the air. Put your face on the ground. Hug yourself. See what else is there. Find any shape and then play from that shape. See what else is there. What else is there? I'm finding myself wanting my feet on the earth now, and in a forward fold, I want to bounce or shake out. Often also another way, besides the micro movements, just tiny, tiny little wiggles, tiny, tiny little rotations. Usually they'll begin to inspire bigger ones. But also, sometimes we just want to go bigger. We need to get some anxiety out. So if you're moving from a place of heaviness, the micro movements will often be helpful. If it's anxiousness, busyness, distraction, can't stay still long enough to find a practice, then come and shake. Shake. Shimmy, shake it out. Once you get tired enough in your shake, your body will usually tell you what else you want to do. And once you play with some shake, some dance, again, I invite and encourage you to find a relative stillness, any shape, stillness. I'm going big, going for the superstar pose here. A relative stillness. You could start your practice from any pose, any shape. If I hold this pose long enough, my body's going to ask me to do something else. I'm going to start feeling like moving things, side bending, squeezing the palms, back bending, forward bending, forward bending. So much there, shaking your booty, bouncing things around, drawing into the earth, hugging into the legs. Again, fidget, wiggle, and then take pause. When you feel like you're going on automatic or you're getting a little too activated or whatever, then take pause. Find a shape and pause. Breathe. Listen inward. Feel your spine, your feet, your hands, your face. What else wants to happen? What else is there? What else wants to happen? What else is there? Stay curious. Invoke your child self. Listen to the wisdom of your body. There's so much benefit in a guided class and in learning alignment of poses. The very most benefit of all ever will be union with your body, your breath, your inner wisdom. This will serve all of life, as I believe the yoga practice. And also, after years of regimented yoga, decades, even almost 30 years, not 30 decades, that's a lot. This is what I've come to. Play. What? All this work and just back to play. So, whatever is inspired from every movement, and suddenly you're doing yoga. You're in your yoga. You are your yoga. Investigate. Let me know what happens. Oh, namaste. Namago. Just for now.